The Lok Sabha elections are set to kick off this Friday. 102 constituencies across 21 states and union territories will vote in the first phase of the 7-phase elections. More than 1,600 candidates are in the fray. The entire northeast, barring Assam and 1 seat in Tripura, are in phase 1. Western UP, 3 seats in Bengal, 4 seats in Maharashtra, all the 5 seats in Uttarakhand will also head to the polls this Friday. The main battleground will be Tamil Nadu, where all 39 seats go to the polls. Prime Minister Modi has visited the state 8 times in the run-up to the elections as the BJP unleashed a campaign blitz. But the DMK government and the India alliance are not too perturbed, remain confident of sweeping the state. So which way will Tamil Nadu sway? Jude Sanet reports on the key election issues on the ground that are dictating this campaign.
A damaging flood, an ongoing metro rail expansion and a fiscal face-off between centre and state. These events have been at the core of the DMK's offensive against the BJP since the start of the year. The Tamil Nadu government has accused the centre of ignoring Chennai by not acceding to the state's request for 2,000 crore rupees from the National Disaster Relief Fund. The money was to augment relief and reconstruction measures in areas hit by Cyclone Nishong in December. The cyclone is estimated to have caused damage to the tune of 2,000 crore rupees, not to mention the cost of lives and livelihood. In its campaigns, the DMK has been pointing out that while Tamil Nadu did not get any support, the centre did not hesitate when Cyclone Totke ravaged Gujarat in 2021.
The next day, the Prime Minister in Gujarat announces 1,000 crores. Why this stepmotherly treatment to Tamil Nadu? This is the question we are asking.
But it isn't only all about flood relief or the lack of it. The DMK has taken aim at the centre for failing to honour its commitment to fund one of Chennai's key infrastructure projects. That's Phase 2 of the city's metro rail. Failing to hear from the centre on partial funding, the Tamil Nadu government has said it would bear the entire cost of the project, that's 12,000 crore rupees, all by itself in order to complete construction by 2026. The BJP, on the other hand, has accused the DMK of distorting facts in order to make a political statement. It also blames the DMK government for breaching procedures to fast-track the project.
This Metro Phase 2, the cabinet has not approved. Without approval, how do you expect, the centre to release funds? First of all, the cabinet has to approve, na? And before approving, you started the work. And you are asking money without approval.
The DMK in return is also accusing the centre of being obstructionist in facilitating external funding for the project.
That file, they only have to push the file to Asian Development Bank with its recommendation, yes, give the money, we have all the resources. But the union government is not doing that.
Infrastructure funding aside, Tamil Nadu has also been arguing that it gets far less bang for its buck when it comes to tax devolution from the centre. Tamil Nadu gets back around 29 rupees for every 100 rupees given to the centre, while a state like UP gets back 273 rupees for every 100 rupees given. Despite the state standing to make 44,760 crore rupees in central GST devolution, up 6% from initial estimates, it wants changes to the method this tax devolution is calculated.
The concerns are different than the formula being adopted by the Finance Commission. And that we are addressing it. Probably the new Finance Commission will address our concerns and probably will be kind enough to the states like developed states like TN.
The DMK is also blaming the centre for financial losses arising from curbs on government borrowing set by the centre and the end of GST compensation to the states. Interestingly, the AIADMK, which is the principal opposition in the state, is not buying any of these claims. While it agrees that the centre must fund relief and infrastructure, it claims the DMK government is being reckless with its own borrowing and expenditure.
If DMK has not borrowed 3.5 lakh crore in 3 years of time, if he had borrowed the same average like what AIADMK has borrowed and given results, definitely this would have been a burning issue today. But having borrowed 400 times higher than what the average is and still claiming that I'm not getting money from the center will definitely not go in as a good narrative.
With just under a month to go for phase 1 of polling in Tamil Nadu, the center-state fiscal face-off is likely to dominate discourse at poll rallies and roadshows. In Chennai, Jude Sanath.
Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore constituency is proving to be a key battleground for the DMK, the AIADMK and the BJP. In this industrial town, economic revival is the key talking point. The BJP has high hopes from Coimbatore, and its state unit president Annamalai is hoping to challenge the incumbents.
In Coimbatore, there's anticipation in the air as BJP supporters wait for their candidate to arrive. Annamalai Kuppuswamy is not only the BJP's Tamil Nadu president, he is widely recognized as an important part of the party's future leadership. For now, he is also the BJP's Coimbatore candidate, a recent stronghold after the Saffron Party won an assembly seat here in 2021. His focus, should he win, will be to do more than just return the industrial hub to its former glory. This includes plans to automate the town's foundries and organize its component units.
Most of the laborers are from North India. Slowly they are trying to move out naturally. Once UP and Bihar starts picking up manufacturing, they'll move out. So we got to automate the foundry. With respect to the automobile, we want to create an automobile cluster. Though you have automobile component manufacturers here and there, but there is no cluster approach for them. We want to do that.
This need to urgently repair the industrial aspect of Coimbatore is not lost on any party. The fight for Coimbatore, a three-cornered one, has moved from open ground to the town's foundries and component-making units. In their campaign speeches, candidates from across the political spectrum have laid emphasis on industry, growth, skilling and jobs. And these promises couldn't come at a more opportune time. MSME units and foundries in Coimbatore say the workforce is in desperate need of skilling.
China, they have 60 training institutes for the foundry alone. In India, not even one industry. I think from the Coimbatore foundries, we are planning a one institute. So we are expecting some support from the central government, new government, and also the local government to put up a foundry training institute.
While raw material inflation has hit component makers, foundries say the centre's recent updated list of quality control orders or QCOs, initially meant to keep a check on substandard imports, is hurting local production.
We think that the QCO should cover the finished product and not the raw material products. For us, it will be good to have a strong candidate who can take the interests of our community, that is the MSME manufacturing community, and make our voices heard in the national level.
To be very fair, Annamalai, if elected, yes, naturally, if the centre has a BJP government, it is really going to help Coimbatore. All I would say is, in fact, Coimbatore needs accelerated growth.
Skilling challenges and QCO regulations aside, Coimbatore Inc. also wants the new government to attract big-ticket investments from a major OEM to give MSMEs a boost. On its part, the textile industry wants a PLI scheme of its own that it has been waiting on for several months now. Back on the poll turf, 36-year-old IIMA alumnus Singai Ramachandran is a first-time candidate contesting on an AIADMK ticket. And while industry is his focus too, Ramachandran claims lofty promises don't count for much if basics like escalating power prices aren't kept in check.
many textile industries. So all these industries are suffering because of the EB price hike that has been pushed from the DMK side. And they are saying they are not able to run it as they used to run earlier. Primarily, we should make sure that the native business survive, because you cannot go and ask a mill worker or a lathe workshop person or a person who is working in a foundry to go and do Python or Java coding.
The battle for Coimbatore has hit fever pitch, and it's clear that every candidate knows the industry-centric vote bank holds the key to the constituency. In the 2019 elections, the CPIM won this constituency. Today, the party is letting its stronger and more industry-friendly ally, the DMK, field a candidate of its own. Meanwhile, Annamalai wants to get the constituency back with the BJP after a gap of 20 years. In Coimbatore, Jude Sanath.
From Coimbatore to Muzaffarnagar in western UP, which is also voting in the first phase, the city largely relies on agriculture, and the BJP is promising more infrastructure development to drum up support and beat anti-incumbency. But will it work? Abhimanyu Sharma finds out.
Popularly known as the Sugar Bowl of India, 40% of Muzaffarnagar's population is engaged in agriculture. According to economic surveys data, this city has the highest agricultural GDP in the state of Uttar Pradesh. However, despite all these achievements, many foreign and modern establishments are yet to invest in the Lok Sabha constituency of Muzaffarnagar. Sanjeev Balyan, the Minister of State for Animal Husbandry and two-time BJP MP from Muzaffarnagar, is promising to change this. The popular 51-year-old Jat leader is holding at least 50 meetings per day and is holding up a slew of promised development projects and ensuring employment opportunities to beat anti-incumbency.
91 नए प्रोजेक्ट का एमओयू साइन हुआ है मेरे रजिस्ट्री के लिए। 8,500 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट है। एक साल के अंदर 10,000 युवाओं को रोजगार मिलेगा। फ्रेट कॉरिडोर मेरे यहाँ से गुजर रहा है। कलकत्ता भी माल जाएगा, मुंबई भी माल जाएगा। हमने 55 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में नई कोऑपरेटिव का गठन किया। गुजरात के मूल मॉडल पे काम करेंगे। अब किसान एक फोन नंबर दबाएगा और डॉक्टर एम्बुलेंस लेके उसके घर पे होगा।
Balyan is banking on the BJP government's performance on economic parameters, infrastructure development and job creation to push his message across. And many of the residents we spoke to say there has been a visible improvement in terms of railway infrastructure and electrification.
सड़क बढ़िया है, एजुकेशन बढ़िया है, पूरे मुजफ्फरनगर के आसपास पूरा रिंग रोड बना दिया और इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन ला रहे हैं और ट्रेन ला रहे हैं।
हमारा बहुत पुराना आज़ादी के बाद से रेलवे लाइन का दोहरीकरण का बहुत ज़बरदस्त मुद्दा था, वो सबसे पहले आगे डॉक्टर संजीव बालियान ने पूरा किया। मेट्रो अभी मेरठ तक आई है, हम चाहते हैं कि जल्द से जल्द मुजफ्फरनगर तक प्रस्तावित हो।
In February, the state administration had prepared a plan to attract investment worth rupees 7,800 crores, including the establishment of a food processing project aimed at generating thousands of jobs. Apart from swift establishment of the industry across the constituency, the electorate wants expansion of green cover and the extension of the proposed Delhi-Meerut metro line to Muzaffarnagar as part of its demand in the upcoming Lok Sabha election. The 8 sugar mills in the city are currently the most visible signs of industry, but here the endorsement is not as hearty. The latest grouse is that the fair and remunerative price for sugarcane has been fixed at 340 rupees per quintal by the centre and at a state-agreed price of 370 rupees per quintal. But this is still lower than the 391 rupees Punjab offers its farmers or the 386 rupees per quintal offered by Haryana.
गन्ने की फसल तो ऐसी डूबती हुई दिखाई दे रही है हमें। पहले 10 रुपए की दवाई थी एक, आज जीएसटी लग के वो 15 रुपए की होगी। किसके बीच से जा रहा है, किसान के बीच से जा रहा है।
सब चीज़ों पर रेट बढ़े हुए, लेकिन गन्ने पे गया 20 रुपए। 20 रुपए की ज़्यादा ही लागत बढ़ जा।
The sitting MP is aware that this is a sore issue in his constituency, as is delayed payment by mills to farmers.
मैं हमेशा चाहता हूँ गन्ने के भाव बढ़े। किसान की आवाज़ में मेरी आवाज़ मिलती है हमेशा। जनपद में 8 शुगर मिल है, मात्र 1 शुगर मिल का पेमेंट डिले, उसका इलाज भी मैं इस चुनाव के बाद तुरंत कर दूंगा।
Farmers are not the only group in the constituency who have problems they want the government to fix on priority. Local traders say taxes and tax-related compliance are a big burden.
सिस्टम जो है जीएसटी का बहुत डिफिकल्ट है और जैसे अभी 1 अप्रैल से ये कानून आ रहा है 45 दिन में पेमेंट करना है करना, तो इसके लिए व्यापारी बहुत टेंशन में है।
उद्योगपति इसलिए परेशान है कि उनसे हिस्सा मांगा जाता है, महीना मांगा जाता है। जीएसटी के नाम पर इतना उत्पीड़न है छोटे व्यापारी का। जीएसटी का कहाँ से तू अकाउंटेंट रखेगा?
Balyan, however, is confident that the BJP's track economic and farmer-friendly record will put these concerns to rest and quell any anti-incumbency sentiment to earn him a third term. In Muzaffarnagar, this is Abhimanyu Sharma for CNBC-TV18.
Up next, we take you inside battleground West Bengal, where 3 seats vote on Friday. We preview the battle for Jammu and Kashmir. Stay tuned to the Election Exchange. Welcome back to the Election Exchange. 3 constituencies in West Bengal go to the polls on Friday. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has never shied away from taking the BJP and Prime Minister Modi head-on. But for the first time in the 2019 general elections, BJP's tally in the state rose to 18 seats. Can the TMC fight back, or will the BJP expand its footprint? Santiagora reports on the battle for Bengal.
West Bengal is a state to watch during the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. With 42 seats, the state is often key in deciding the final outcome. But it goes beyond that. With BJP winning an unprecedented 18 seats in the last elections, winning back supremacy has become a prestige issue for West Bengal Chief Minister and TMC Supremo Mamata Banerjee. And for the BJP, it's a chance to further whittle away at the TMC's stronghold.
पिछले 6-8 साल से हम लगातार और इम्प्रूव कर रहे हैं. वोटर परसेंटेज ऑफ वोटिंग इंक्रीज हो रही है, सीट में भी इंक्रीज हो रही है. बीजेपी का नाम कोई नहीं लेता था बंगाल में, लेकिन 2016 चुनाव 2014 लोकसभा चुनाव में हमको 17% वोट मिला था यहाँ. और उसके बाद हम लोग संगठन में जोर लगाया, तो फिर 16 विधानसभा चुनाव में 10% से ऊपर गया. उसके पहले 5-6% रहता था. फिर लोकसभा 2019 में हम उसको 40% तो ले गए.
But TMC says it's not worried. It says the only reason BJP managed 18 seats in 2019 was due to some big promises, and none have been kept.
Because BJP may have promised much in 2019, has delivered nothing. So Bengal now knows that those were all like jumlas, or those were promises which have never been executed.
TMC is confident the strong following enjoyed by its chief Mamata Banerjee and the multiple welfare schemes implemented by the state government will give it a definite edge.
Basically, the philosophy of All India Trinamool Congress has always been service to the Mamati Manush, service to the people of Bengal. And this is something which Mamata Banerjee has worked upon throughout. Of course, is the success of the various schemes of the government. And we think that these are success stories which will also yield us political dividends.
TMC also dismisses many of the allegations made by the BJP in West Bengal, whether that it was behind the post-election violence in 2021, or those of corruption levelled against many TMC leaders, or those of land grabbing, exploitation and sexual assault by TMC's Shahjahan Sheikh and his aides in Sandesh Khali. As a counter to the last one, BJP has given one of the alleged victims a ticket. It has also made brand Modi, the spirit of nationalism, Citizenship Amendment Act and Hindutva into cornerstones of its West Bengal campaign. The effectiveness is debatable.
Ideally, BJP should get more seats than 2019, but not at the credit really of BJP or the state BJP.
TMC, meanwhile, is also playing up the centre versus state narrative and banking on its welfare schemes and appeasement policies to win over women and Muslim voters. Experts believe that in 2019, a significant portion of left-leaning voters voted for the BJP, not due to a shift in the ideology, but more as an anti-TMC move. They now predict a repetition of this pattern in 2024 Lok Sabha elections, some even going so far as to suggest it could be significant enough to help BJP get a stronger foothold in parliament. In Kolkata, with camera person Swapnil Bandekar, this is Santya for CNBC-TV18.
Welfare schemes have proved to be efficient and powerful vehicles to attract voters in the past, and the TMC in West Bengal has tasted this success. In 2021, it launched the Lokhir Bhandar scheme, which promised a monthly cash transfer to women, and the scheme is considered to have been a big factor in returning Mamata Banerjee to power in the last assembly elections. But will the scheme continue to work its magic?
लक्ष्मी भंडार स्कीम, जिसको लक्ष्मी भंडार स्कीम भी बोलते हैं, एक तो इस स्कीम को लेके आपका क्या कहना है और टाइम पे आपको पैसे आते हैं नहीं आते हैं, क्या होता है?
हाँ, आ जाता है, टाइम से ही आ जाता है, जब से हुआ है आ जा रहा है। ये पैसा हम लोग कहीं जाते हैं घूमने के लिए, हम लोग को काम आ जाता है,
तो सहायता हो जाती है।
हाँ हाँ, सहायता हो जाती है।
62-year-old Purnima Ghosh is a third-generation migrant settled in Kolkata's Bhawanipur. She is not eligible for the West Bengal government's flagship Lakshmi Bhandar scheme, also called the Lokhir Bhandar scheme, but her two daughters-in-law are. And Purnima says the 2,000 rupees additional income every month has helped ease many hardships.
हम तो बोले दिए, हम ये मेरा पर्सनल, हमको जिसको अच्छा लगेगा उसी को देंगे, हम इसके ऊपर में डिपेंड नहीं है। सरकार में जो भी जाएगा वो हमको ये देगा, इसके बाद नहीं है जो हमको इसी पर हमको डिपेंड हो गया, हमको देना है।
Announced just before the assembly elections in 2021 and launched when the TMC came to power later that year, the scheme promised a direct cash transfer to over 2 crore 11 lakh eligible women in the state. It proved to be a game changer. According to the Lokniti CSDS post-poll survey, 50% of women voted for the TMC in that election. In this year's budget, the TMC government has hiked its allocation to the scheme by 1,200 crore rupees to 14,000 crore rupees. It has also hiked the payout from 500 rupees per woman per month to 1,000 rupees for those in the general category. Women in the SC/ST category will now get 1,200 rupees per month instead of 1,000 rupees earlier. But when it comes to the Lok Sabha elections, Purnima says the scheme will not be a factor when she casts her vote.
हम लोग को अभी जो काउंसिलर है वो तो हम लोग को अच्छा ही देखते हैं, तब वोट तो उसी को देना ही चाहिए ना। और मेरा 1 साल लक्ष्मी भंडार का पैसा नहीं आए थे, फिर दूसरा बार हम जब फॉर्म फिलअप करके जमा दिए थे तो 8 महीना से हमको पैसा मिल रहा है, और राशन भी तो हम लोग को सब फ्री में ही मिल रहा है। अब ये पैसा लाने से हमको कोई काम में हो जाता है।
और हमको तो विधवा तर जो है वो तो हमको मिलता है 500 करके। 500 करके क्या होगा बोलिए? 500 रुपये का क्या कुछ नहीं होता, दुकान में जाता तो बच्चों तुरंत खत्म हो जाता है।
पैसा से कोई खरीद लगा कि हम पैसा दे रहे हमरा में वोट डालो, वो सब हम लोग का नहीं होगा।
She is not alone, but neither is her approach universal.
Didi is the first person to have done this, and it is almost on the lines of a universal basic income for the women. And the age group here is of course 25 to 60. It's a basic income guaranteed to every woman of that household. Only Tamil Nadu did something in 23, but it's not to every woman. It's only to one woman of the household. So Didi has done it for every household.
The Trinamool Congress, however, says the improved scale of benefits this scheme promises will result in political points.
संदेशखाली जैसा मैंने घटना बोला, ऐसा हर जिला में कुछ ना कुछ घटना हो रही है, लोग उसी को देख रहे हैं कि पैसा 500 रुपये बड़ी बात नहीं, हमारी महिलाओं की सम्मान की सुरक्षा, लोगों की आर्थिक विकास और ज़िंदगी की, यहाँ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की इतनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, कोई है ही नहीं लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, तो ये लोगों के सामने है, इसीलिए लोग, और लोकसभा चुनाव तो नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नाम पर वोटिंग होती है।
The BJP, which is also known for launching welfare schemes, is taking a different approach to counter the Lokhir Bhandar scheme, appealing to people's sense of pride by calling it a political bribe. It is also banking on local issues, from allegations of corruption against TMC officials to the recent uproar over alleged land grabbing and the sexual exploitation of women in Sandesh Khali to get people's support. Brian Klaas and Nick Cheeseman, in their book How to Rig an Election, termed welfare schemes as bribes that political parties give to their voters. Many other psephologists have echoed this sentiment. However, in India, such welfare schemes have resonated with the people over the last years, like the recent Ladli Behna scheme in Madhya Pradesh. That's why almost every political party is keen on these schemes, and it's become a kind of a competition. In Kolkata, with camera person Swapnil Bandekar, this is Santya for CNBC-TV18.
And finally, Jammu and Kashmir's Udhampur will vote in the first phase of the elections. Infrastructure and education, the two big areas that the central government has been pushing in the Jammu region ahead of elections. A new IIT, IIM and AIMS have been built in the city, and the Prime Minister on his recent visit to Jammu announced infrastructure projects worth 32,000 crores. However, not much has changed in the old areas in the markets of Jammu. Shivani Bazar spoke to local businesses who rue the absence of a state government.
Well, with the promise of transforming the landscape of Jammu into a hub of education and development, the Government of India has put the spotlight on new educational institutions, hospitals and road and rail lines. With the promise of establishing prestigious institutions like IIT and IIM being fulfilled, the Government of India has now announced the extensive infrastructure push worth 32,000 crores recently. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also laid the foundation stone for a new terminal of the Jammu airport. Clearly, ahead of the election, the focus of a Viksit Jammu is education and connectivity.
और हमने संकल्प लिया है विकसित जम्मू कश्मीर का। मुझे आप पर विश्वास है, हम विकसित जम्मू कश्मीर बना करके ही रहेंगे। आज ही यहाँ 32,000 करोड़ रुपए के प्रोजेक्ट, उसका शिलान्यास और कुछ का लोकार्पण किया गया।
With infrastructure as the key focus in Jammu for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, local businesses say that even after big boost to infra projects, Jammu's local markets remain neglected.
ब्यूटिफिकेशन तो इन्होंने ऑलमोस्ट हो चुकी है, लेकिन अभी भी इसमें बड़े सारे काम बाकी रह गए। जैसे हमारी अंडरग्राउंड वायरिंग थी, वो अभी बचा हुआ है। पानी का कुछ इश्यूज़ हैं, कुछ पार्किंग के। सबसे जो हमारा मेन इशू है वो है पार्किंग और ट्रैफिक का। एक्चुअली हमारे यहाँ पे आसपास कोई पार्किंग स्लॉट नहीं है, और ये जो हमारी है जो मार्केट है, ये इन्होंने बनाई थी वन वे के लिए, लेकिन अभी ये ऐसा है कि ये बोथ वे चलती है, तो इसमें पूरा दिन जैमिंग रहती है। नई सरकार आएगी तो एक तो जो पॉपुलर गवर्नमेंट होती है उसकी एक्सेसिबिलिटी आम लोगों के लिए ज़्यादा होती है। जो ब्यूरोक्रेसी होती है, आम लोग उनके पास पहुँचने में भी उनको दिक्कत होती है, परेशानी होती है।
Even though work has been done under the Jammu Smart City project, small businesses say that the absence of a local representation and a state government has made things difficult for businesses. Many issues including parking, congested roads and lack of civil facilities continue to be important issues for local businesses in Jammu's famous Raghunath Bazaar, Gandhinagar and Apsara Road markets.
जब हमारी ये गवर्नमेंट बनेगी तो हम तो सुनवाई तो होती है, क्योंकि ये एलजी सरकार है। एलजी सरकार में किसी की सुनवाई नहीं है, क्योंकि ब्यूरोक्रेट बैठे हुए हैं, बाहर से लोग आए हुए हैं, उनको ना पता है गांधीनगर का, ना उनको जम्मू का पता है, ना किसी गली का पता है। जम्मू के लोकल लोग लगेंगे, वही एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में बैठेंगे, उनको पता भी है कि हमने कैसे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को चलाना।
इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट में येस, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है। जैसे रिंग रोड्स बन रही हैं, हाईवेज बन रहे हैं। अगर आप देखें तो यहाँ पे स्मार्ट सिटीज़ जब हमारे सैंक्शनड हुए ऑल ओवर द नेशन, जम्मू की 2 स्मार्ट सिटीज़, उनमें नाम है एक जम्मू एंड एक कश्मीर। कहीं की भी इकॉनमी आप देखोगे जहाँ पे लोगों का आना जाना ज़्यादा रहेगा, वहीं की इकॉनमी राइज़ करती है, चाहे वो उसके साथ लोकल बिजनेसेस हों, चाहे हमारी बड़ी इंडस्ट्रीज़ हों। लेकिन ये चीज़ों की सुनवाई नहीं हो पा रही। ये हमारी लोकल लीडरशिप जो नहीं है, मे बी उसका अफेक्ट रहेगा सबसे ज़्यादा।
Clearly, local issues remain the top priority ahead of elections. In Jammu City with Vijay Lakshman Singh, this is Shivani Bazaz for CNBC-TV18.
Well, that's a wrap on this special broadcast. Please do step out on Friday and cast your vote if you live in any of the 102 seats that go to the polls. For now, from all of us here on the Election Exchange team, thanks very much for watching. Stay tuned to CNBC-TV18. We have a lot more coming up.